Good morning, witches and warlocks. Hello. So it's me, Mikey. So I am currently on my way to work. When I say on my way to work, I'm actually in work. So I've just arrived. I got two little friends who've just joined me. So I work on, in a hotel, I guess. So, which you can see the amazing view behind me. That's our lake. So basically, I work on this hotel. I'm on what they call the entertainment team. So basically, I'm hired to sing, dance, and do all that business, which is the other part of my life, I guess. I'm quite a, how do I put it, recluse when it comes to witchcraft and paganism. I mean, my friends know that I'm pagan. My family have known that I'm not exactly a Christian. My family are complete Christians, by the way. They believe in God. They believe in angels. They believe we go to heaven after we die, and that all our family are waiting up there. I mean, I honestly don't know what I believe in when it comes to death. A bit morbid to talk about this early in the morning, but this is my videos. So yes, they believe in a lot of that sort of stuff, which I find quite odd, considering they can believe in this place called heaven and angels, but yet they quite find it hard to believe that I believe in nature giving me the power to achieve what I want to do, when energy is all around us and we are pure energy, and energy doesn't go anywhere scientifically, so it's just there. It doesn't die, in a way. So I don't know really what I believe about that, but I do know that I was always an atheist at first, I guess. Didn't really believe in anything. I know I definitely didn't believe in the whole Christianity thing, and I didn't believe what my parents believed in. I didn't believe what my brothers and sisters lived in, or believed in, sorry. So I knew that I wasn't going to follow that path. I just hadn't found anything that really suited me, and so I was 14, and I found the craft, and I found paganism, and realised that, you know what, that's perfect for me. And the reason I chose it, and this probably could possibly upset a few people, and I don't mean to when I say this is just me. This is my choice in life, and it's what I choose to believe. Paganism for me has no bad parts, I guess. Like, it doesn't have anything that says to me that no one's welcome. So I'm probably not explaining this very well. So I believe that paganism invites everyone in. We don't discriminate against gender. In fact, we embrace gender. In fact, we build women in paganism and Wicca and witchcraft. They're seen as a higher power in a way. They're celebrated as, the maiden and, the crone and, the mother, and they're celebrated. One of the goddesses my main goddess deity that I tend to work with is the moon goddess, which I know is quite common, and most men don't. I mean, I don't, to be honest with you. My last video that I posted, a young girl said to me that it was nice to see a male doing an unboxing of the witch casket. If you haven't seen that video, you can check. It's my first video. So it's not heard of much of men coming out and saying, do you know what, I'm a Wiccan, I'm a pagan, that I'm a witch, you know, or a warlock, however you choose to see yourself. You know, I don't see that as different. So for those who are wondering, like I said, I'm at work, but as I was saying with the hotel, I work in this hotel that's in Suffolk, and it's got huge grounds. So I'm actually at this precise moment, if you can see, walking around the lake, which is about a mile full lap around. So if you start at one point, go all the way back to that point, it's a mile. It's an amazing lake. It's so stunning. We have wildlife everywhere here. So I bumped into, we have ducks galore, so many ducks. We have rabbits, squirrels, we have every type of bird you can imagine. We have Egyptian geese, which is always quite good. They're quite rare. They only come to this spot in Suffolk. You can't see them anywhere else. Occasionally you might see them flying around or spotted around the Great Yarmouth area. Excuse me. But you only pretty much see them here. Just behind me, I'm on a bridge now. So yeah, that's the view from the bridge. One of the bridges, we have two, one at each end of the lake. But yeah, this is a natural lake. Wasn't man-made, it was here all the time. The company built on top of this many years ago. And I say many years ago because the hotel I work at, is for people over 50. So it's, you know, for the nans and granddads out there, and, you know, the older clientele that don't particularly want to be on holiday with lots of screaming kids. Don't get me wrong, I've worked on parks where there has been loads of kids, and I've loved every minute of it. I do prefer the over 50s parks and hotels purely because they're a lot more appreciative of what you do, dance-wise and singing-wise. Our shows are a different type of show than you would get if you were on a holiday park who cater for kids and families. And I you know, gone are those days now. So, but no, it's a stunning place, and as I was saying before, religion, yes, it's a complicated thing, and I felt that paganism and all of that, Wicca and witchcraft, celebrated women. They celebrate women. You know, they don't discriminate. They don't discriminate whether you're, you know, of a certain colour, if you're a certain race, if you're a certain sexuality. Like, it doesn't discriminate. There's nowhere in any of our literature, if you read through the pagan literature or Wiccan literature, there's nothing that says you can't be who you are. And that was something that really, you know, sprung true to me, because all the other religions that I'd ever come across, you know, Christianity, the Catholic religion, I mean, most of them are the ones I came across, all say the same thing, that, you know, women were persecuted, you know, it's men were deemed unworthy and disgraceful if you were a certain sexuality. It was just, you know, I just believe that certain religions, and most religions, were just rule making. I mean, we have rules in paganism and Wicca, don't get me wrong, we do have rules, you know, but all the rules we put in place is to make sure that nobody gets hurt, you know, and nobody is upset or, you know, hurt or damaged in any way. We put those rules in place so we can't harm anyone, and you have to follow those rules, otherwise it comes back to you threefold. I'm going to take a seat for a sec. So yeah, so I think that was one of the things that sort of drew me to paganism, because at the time I was a teenager. I was 14 and my life was up in the air. I didn't know what I was doing, you know, like all 14-year-olds coming into puberty. You don't know what you are, who you are, what you want to be. You just know that life's hard, and you know, everything around you is hard. The people around you don't accept you. The people around you, you know, put you down. And being at school was hard, you know, unless you fit in with the crowd, you know. And I was never really one for fitting in with crowds. It was never me. The weird thing was, growing up in my family, is that all my brothers, and I come from quite a big family. You know, I have quite a few brothers, one sister, and you had to be the manliest of men to grow up in my family. Like, it was just how it was. And to sing and dance in my family was not easy. So I was stuck somewhere in the fact of my friends couldn't understand that I wanted to do this as a job. You know, this is what I wanted to pursue. My school was so anti me dancing and singing. Like, they were just like, oh no, you need a practical job, you need a job that's gonna, you know, you need a job in computers, or you need a job in this. And when I mean, I don't know how it all works now at school, and if you're watching this, you know, I'm probably sounding prehistoric, but at school we were given the chance to choose certain subjects that we wanted to study in, you know, in our last couple of years, and before my GCSEs, and I chose all practical stuff. I chose drama, and I chose dance, I chose home economics, and I chose history. Now, history we didn't have a choice. We either had to do history or geography, so I chose those. But all the other subjects I chose were technology and science. We were given, we had to do. But yeah, I chose dance and drama, and all my subjects were... Oh, and I chose art as well. And all my teachers said the same thing. You can't choose all practical. You have to have some sort of, you know, written exams. Because I was the last year in, like, the last year in my school to do a course, a drama and dance and stuff, course without any written work. There was no written exam. It was purely a full-on performance exam, and music as well. So there was none of that. So some people. Good morning. Yeah, so that was, we have obviously guests. They wander around and go for walks and stuff. I'm not used to this vlogging thing when guests are around. I don't think they understand really. They're of a generation where they don't get the whole vlogging thing. I mean, I'm new to all this, so I get a little bit embarrassed. But so yeah, anyway, so at school it was a bit tough and a bit hard to really do what I wanted to do, and everyone was against me. And so yeah, 14 was a hard time, which is when I found paganism, and I was like, yep, this is what I want out of life. I understand this is what I get, you know. There's no persecution, no one's telling me that I can't do this and I can't do that, you know. So I just didn't get religion at the time, and I was made to do religious education in school. And don't get me wrong, I studied it, and I was quite good at remembering the stories that came along with it, you know. But to me, they were just stories. I couldn't in my head for 1 second believe any of it. Like, it was like believing in Santa Claus, you know, Father Christmas again. You know, these were just stories. They were like, you know, stories in a book. None of it rung true for me for history, do you know? And I know that sounds really bad, and I'm not going against anybody out there who believes it, you know, each their own. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, because I don't believe anyone's wrong for believing what they believe. At the end of the day, I have my belief system, everyone has. I just don't feel that it needs to be a belief system that causes harm or upsets somebody, who discriminates against anybody. And the pagan rules, the Wiccan rules, the witchcraft, the Wiccan read, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't at all. Nothing on there has ever made me go, do you know what? I don't think that's right to say that. It gives you the chance to believe in an array of gods, and I don't particularly know if I'm not saying they're a particular person, I'm not saying I don't believe in a god and goddess as in a person. I think I believe them as more of a entity, what's around you. So I believe in what I can see, and what happens every day. I know that the world turns, I know that the seasons change, I know that, it gets cold, it gets rainy, it gets windy, it gets sunny. Today is the most glorious day. I think it's going to be one of the hottest days that we've had this week, or this summer maybe. It's not even 9 o'clock. Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock and it's already boiling hot. But no, that's what, I see it in front of me. I see the seasons changing. I see the weather changing. I see, animals growing and giving birth and becoming adults and all this stuff. The leaves go different colours, the trees grow, the dirt around us, gives life. Water gives life. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong believing that sort of, way of thinking and way of life? I'm recently, as I said, possibly in my last video, I don't know if I did, I'm recently a vegetarian. And I don't do that because I have cruelty to animals. That is bad. I don't think that needs to happen to eat, do you know what I mean? But I did it for health reasons. But I just feel healthier not eating a ton of red meat, and just eating meat in general. I feel a lot more healthier in myself since I have become vegetarian. Nature itself, as you know, if you watched my last video, I'm a nature-based witch. I believe in the elemental side of my craft, and that's what I follow. I tend to dive into tarot, which is one of my favourite things to do. I do a basic spread. You don't need to do anything majorly weird. You don't have to go overboard. I'm pretty new to practicing witchcraft. Like I said in my last video, I've been studying witchcraft and Wicca and paganism my entire adult life. I started when I was 14, so I just haven't really practiced other than dabbling in a couple of spells. But that's just how it is with me. I like to know what I'm doing with life. I like to know things before. I studied dance and drama and my singing for many years. It's a craft in itself. I don't believe that you can just go in and say, do you know what, I am a witch, I am this, I am that. Everything comes with study, and everything comes, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to read 1,000 books, that you have to do a year and a day, which is, if you're new to this and you're just discovering witchcraft, a lot of witches and warlocks and pagans and Wiccans out there sometimes believe that you have to do a year and a day, which basically means you study for a year and a day in different aspects of the craft. And you know, I don't necessarily believe it's true to do. I mean, I chose not to. I chose to just study through my whole life. You know, I decided to just learn as I went. And if there was something that I was interested in and something that, you know, caught my eye, I thought, you know what, I want to learn about it. And I took my time. I didn't rush it. You know, I don't think a year and a day is even enough to learn. You know, I'm 39 now, and I've been studying this since I was 14 years old. And I still don't know everything. I'm nowhere near knowing everything, because, you know, I think you learn by doing, and I've only just started going into the realms of actually practicing witchcraft. You know, spell work and you know, divinations and, you know, tarot, all that sort of thing is something that is new to me in the way of practicing. I've studied it and I know about it and I know the basics of everything. I just have never practiced. And yeah, so I don't believe that you need to do that. I don't believe you need to be amazingly studied in this. So if you want to call yourself a witch, I believe that the moment that you decide that this is the path you want to follow, call yourself a witch, call yourself a Wiccan, call yourself pagan. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, in Christianity and, you know, and Catholic religions, you get baptized and suddenly you are, you know, Catholic or you're Christian. And some people believe, you know, that you're not a Wiccan unless you are told so by higher powers, by a priest or priestess, who have followed the path for many, many years and been, you know, deigned to be higher up in the Wiccan society. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I don't believe that's necessarily because you've been around for a very long time that you have the right to tell me my path and tell me what I should and shouldn't do in my path. I don't think anyone has that right to tell you. I mean, you be you. I don't listen to people who tell me what to do. You know, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and a lot of witches and a lot of warlocks and a lot of people that, you know, follow the path, and some of them will tell you this is how it's got to be, this is how you have to train, this is how you have to set out your altar, this is how you have to do this is how you have to do this, it must be like this. And it's not. Everyone's different. You know, if we're to believe that nature rules the world that we're in, nature's different. Everything's different. No two things are really the same. You know, they may look the same, but they're not. You know, the animals around us, they're all different. You know, the trees around us, they grow differently. They have a different path. You know, no ground around us is the same. No water is the same. You know, it grows, it flows different ways. You know, you can never predict water because it flows in every direction. You know, trees grow in every direction. The weather itself is so sporadic. Like, it will change from day to day, month to month, year to year. Every year will be different weather-wise. So why can't we be? Why can't we be different? Why can't we all be, you know, completely and utterly different, but follow the same path? You know, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people will fall into the category of we're going to be the same as every religion that says this is a rule book and this is how it's got to be and this is how, and I feel trapped, and that's why I stayed away from other religions, because I just felt trapped by them telling me I had to follow this rule in my life, that I had to be this way, and I'm not. I'm myself, and I'm different than everybody else. I'm never going to be the same as anybody else, because I'm not. I'm a complete. I think differently. I act differently. I'm a completely solo person, and I can't believe that way. I can't believe that I'm meant to follow a certain way of life that everyone else does. And I don't think nature does. I don't think nature says to you, that you have to be a certain way. I have many friends, and they all follow different paths. They all went different ways. They all love different things. And the same in my, in the witchy world, in the pagan world, in the Wiccan world. I have friends who all follow different paths, all celebrate different deities, and all have a preference in the way they work, and that changes from day to day, month to month. Today I am an elemental witch, and I love the elements, and that's what I follow. I love everything, my craft, my spells, everything works around the elements. That may change, in a year, a month, who knows? I might become a witch who wants to be in a coven. I might become a witch who wants to stay solitary. I might become a witch who becomes very eclectic and follows, different style of the religion. There's no telling what you're going to be and who you're going to be a month or two down the line. And I don't want to hold myself back from doing that. I don't want to believe that I can be, different. Because I can be whoever I want to be, and so can you. All of you can be. I mean, I'm doing this video right now, and in my head, I thought to myself, doing this video, am I doing it for you guys out there who's watching? I know there's not many. I mean, I'm at this precise moment when I looked at my video this morning, I had 25 views. I'm not going to let myself think, oh God, I need to be, the top YouTuber. I need to be this person who's getting thousands of views and have, 1,000 subscribers by this point. And I realised, do you know what? I'm not doing this for the people out there watching. I mean, and that sounds bad. And I'm doing this because, I want to help. I do. I want you guys to follow my path because it's different than everybody else's. It's not going to be the same as, my friend Mandy's, for instance. My friend Mandy, she's followed a completely different path to me, and, I followed her, and, I followed a lot of witches in my time, and they're all different to me. They're all different. I just took little bits and pieces of their lives, and it led me to a different path. So I'm doing this to help people, to understand that, it's not just girls in this religion. There's not just girls out there who are witches and, they ride brooms and they do spells, and, that's not the case. There are males out there who follow the path too. And we're not just, a certain way of male. I don't dress in black. I don't wear robes. I don't follow a goth code. I don't like, dressing my house in black and having bats on the walls and all that sort of stuff. I don't love Halloween. I believe that Halloween has a different meaning than the commercial side of Halloween, which I'll get into when I will cover, the different holidays that I am learning about, because I don't know all the Sabbaths. I don't know all the holidays. I don't, I'm a Christmas boy. I like Christmas. Don't get me wrong, but I could go into the whole reason why, I prefer the Sabbaths to the Christian things. And if you read your history books, you'll know the reasons why, that, Christianity and paganism haven't always gelled. And if you want a video on that, if you want to hear me rant about history and how paganism was a religion long before Christianity, I can go into that. But I just don't want to upset anyone. Do you know what I mean? It's your own. But yeah, I just want to be me. I just, I want to make these videos, and I want to do it because I want to make these videos, because I enjoy telling people my life story, and, and if it helps somebody out there understand that you don't have to be a certain way, then hopefully it might, it might encourage more lads out there to come online and, be like, do you know what? Being a witch, being a warlock, being a pagan, being a Wicca, it's fine for males to be that way. It's fine for us to come out there and join the girls, in the witchy boxes, it's fine for us to come out and say, do you know what? I'm a witch and I'm proud. It's life. And I've, whittled on now for about 30 minutes, and I apologise. In my head, I'm thinking to myself, is anyone actually going to really be interested in this, in how my life is and, what I do? So I'm going to head off now because I've sat down for long enough and I don't even know what the time is. Could be, I think I left myself plenty of time for work though. So I'm just going to have a little wander, show you around. So this is where I work. And I love this section. Is the best section ever. It's like a little gathering, there's a bonfire in the middle, and when the weather's nice and you can come down and have a bonfire and sit around on the little stools that are all made from spare wood, tree stumps that are laying around, and we tend to recycle a lot of stuff on the grounds. We look after the grounds. We have a lake. We have archery, which is always cool. And we have what else do we have? We have a pitch and putt. It's my favourite tree. I'm going to show you now. I love this place so much. I mean, who else gets to work in a situation like this? I mean, this tree is amazing. I love this tree. My favourite tree on the park. So that is where I work. I get to walk this every day, and I will be spending the next couple of hours, about 4 or 5 hours now, with all our guests outside playing gardening games. I will be performing at some point as well. I'll be singing this afternoon, and I'll also be doing some dance classes because I teach ballroom now. So I get to do all that fun stuff, and I get to do it in the sunshine. It's a lovely day today. It's boiling already. To do it by the lake. Some of the apartments, they're called our garden lodges, and they are one of the most expensive places to stay. But you have so many different animals. I mean, we haven't seen any apart from the ducks, but there are tons. There are squirrels in the trees, rabbits hopping around. Our ducks, we had, I think, about 10 massive big family of ducks, and they all had eggs, the entire lot. All the females had eggs, and we landed up with an entire fleet of ducks. There they are. These are just, these are the girls. There they are. It's hard to see, I think, but yeah, they're behind me. And we had so many, tons and tons and tons. And they are so human. They are so used to humans around them that they tend to not care. They actually waddle up to you because they think you've got bread or food for them. So that's it really. So I'm on my way to work now. I'm almost there. Just walked around the lake. But if you want to see more of where I work, around the lakes and stuff, and different areas, then let me know. Put comments down, and if you want to subscribe, thumbs me up, You know, put thumbs up, whatever it says to do down there. It's up to you. But you know, be you. Do what you need to do. So I'm gonna say goodbye because I've rattled on for 35 minutes. But I shall see you in my next video. Keep being you, and blessed be.